Welcome back to Game of Thrones, Smart and Oblivious.
I'm oblivious.
I'm smart for some things. So let's dive back in. Let's dive into this new episode just came out yesterday. Battle of Winterfell. Heart's racing just thinking about it. Yes.
Ancestry.com. Keep it in the family. A very good shirt to wear for the Game of Thrones. That's all they do is Ancestry.
This episode's just heart racing just from the beginning.
Right. Yeah. First 10 minutes was just like crazy. It was. I felt like anxiety. I was sitting there. I'm like, why is my heart racing? I'm just sitting here watching a movie. So.
Yeah, just not knowing who had died. Music's playing. Nothing much is really happening until like later on. Since it was like an hour and 20-minute episode, they had to spread out a lot of things.
Yeah. I started out the episode right away. As soon as I saw who was holding those two daggers, I'm like, so what? Did I miss an episode? I thought Sam was going to be down in the crypts guarding everybody, and he was going to be, and all of a sudden they got him weaponing up. It's like, what's going on?
I knew he'd be up there. He wouldn't be in the crypts. Even with Gilly down there, she would. If he went down there, Gilly would be like, "No, you need to go help John."
What a liability, though.
There's so much that happened.
You want to talk about my theories? the theories? The theories and then the theories.
Go into your theories. There's a lot to talk about in the episode.
All right. There are 3 that I nailed. First one, I mentioned something about beating Jerry in ping pong. I nailed that one. The Mountain would never show up at the war and would never leave Cersei's side. And that definitely happened. You never saw him. Jerry mentioned something about him wielding Heartsbane possibly. That wasn't your first choice, but you said it would be cool, and I said he wouldn't even be there. So I
was just like in a alternate universe.
Right, definitely. Yeah, you were more on the grayscale dude, Mormont guy. Yeah, wielding it. So and that's the way I was thinking. So we both nailed that. And dead in the crypts being woken up by the Night King, and that was one of my theories, and that did happen. I thought there was going to be a lot more that were woken up, but just the fact that they were punching through the sarcophaguses or whatever you want to call them, that was pretty good for me. And the ones I sort of half nailed and got half of them right, the Arya spear, I thought that she would dual wield it. It would come apart, she'd dual wield it and fight, and that did happen. But where I did get it wrong was she was going to put it back together and be looking for that dragon, and was never even close to a dragon. No, I don't even think she was in the position to even see the dragon, really. So she was basically inside. And then the last one was I did that Don Derek guy. Barrick and Ed, the Knight Commander, he was the first one to go, and we got second place. So I sort of came close. Now, I'm gonna make this short, but the ones I got way off. Killed 100 Night Walkers to kill the Night King. No, you kill the Night King, everybody dies. Yep. I was totally off on that one. Also, the Night King had dual motives for coming into Winterfell. And I guess he just had the one. I guess he just wanted Bran.
Instead of killing Bran and getting his
wife that I thought was
Nisa.
being held in the crypts. And then also Arya, my prediction was she's not even going to be here. When things broke out, she was going to go to King's Landing and go kill Cersei and the Mountain. I thought she'd, a little girl like that, Cersei.
This is Greek mythology or something.
Yeah. And then my last one, which I completely blew, was Dany was going to be dead in this one. I said
you didn't completely blow it. She was close to being dead, but Jorah was good.
But she's not.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't even get stuck with a friggin' knife, or a sword.
She did help. She did defend herself, which is surprising.
So I blew it. I mean, the cons far outweighed the pros that I had, so I am not a theorist. So we'll go ahead and start.
I think this episode had probably one of the better shots of any other episode in this series. Just by looking at how the battle was shot, with how the Dothraki were running in from like a larger, very zoomed out viewpoint. It was really cool seeing them go in, but then all of a sudden the Whites are there just attacking, and all of a sudden you just see the line of fire just stop and then completely just disappear. Yeah. Well, I guess there goes one army for Daenerys, and she's not happy about that.
All right. And I was sort of pissed off because I'm looking at this going, I can't see anything. I can't. I'm like pissed. Like I can't see anything. And all of a sudden the shit lights up.
Well, this was.
And I'm like, oh, cool. That's cool. So they used the fire and everything like that as a lighting technique. It was pretty awesome because you don't want to see all the whites. You don't want to see. I mean, to put that on film would be outrageous. So I think it's really cool that they kept it pretty close and in perspective of first-person perspective, fighting those guys, those whites, and seeing when they came over the first time you saw the whites, they were just like, I don't know, like three high.
Oh yeah, bombarded, just going over the Unsullied.
Yeah, so I was
right
scared.
There. I got scared when I saw them all run in. I'm like,
I
would not survive if I was in that line of defense.
Nobody survived.
Oh yeah,
and they had flaming freaking swords.
Well, some Unsullied did.
Yeah.
From looking at the new trailer, it's like they're all walking in, but that could be like 200. That was another thing I wanted to touch on was Grey Worm leading the charge of the Unsullied, but then towards the end got scared.
He's got no balls.
Mr. Grey Worm brave.
Yeah, he's got no balls.
Grey Worm brave. Grey Worm do this. Grey Worm that.
Grey Worm run.
And then all of a sudden he's like, it's like, what's going on, dude? Come on, get out there. But I don't know if that was with him going back into the castle, if that was for himself or if that was he told his guys to fend off what they can left and sacrifice themselves, because that's like how the Unsullied work. They fight for Daenerys no matter what.
No, it was, so yeah, I see what you're saying, but it was sort of confusing because he is still Unsullied and he didn't do that himself. Sort of odd, and I understand where you're coming from with that. I saw that too, and I'm like, the hell's he going? He does have a girlfriend or whatever, or somebody to go back to, so maybe his viewpoints have changed. He's not a true Unsullied.
His priorities are different.
Yeah, he's got something to live for, so maybe he went through his mind and he'd rather go and help her and be with her and stay alive.
Well, let's go into who are dead, because
Commander Ed was the first.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, I thought a lot more would have been dead in this episode.
Oh God, yeah.
I thought a lot more main characters would have died, but
well, there's only like 4 or 5.
Well, the first one was Ed.
Ed, and then the patch dude.
Beric Dondarrion.
And why'd he throw his sword?
To save Arya.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Why didn't he go pick it up?
When you have 50 dead guys running through that hallway, you got to get that hell out of there.
He threw the sword, but didn't he go over there and pick her up? And the sword was right there, like 3 feet away. It was on fire, so you couldn't not see it.
I don't think it was on fire anymore.
He threw it, and it stayed on fire. It was on the ground, still on fire. So I'm like, what the? Oh, okay, all right. I was just confused about that, but I guess.
When you have a lot of undead people trying to kill you, and there's like 50 of them in one little hallway, you're trying to get the hell out of there.
Well, my main thought was, why doesn't he pick up a sword? So if he could, if I was thinking that, why couldn't he?
That was his purpose. His purpose was to save Arya, because then Arya killed the Night King.
He saved her, and then he also sort of used himself as a barricade so they can get even further. I thought he was dead right there, and all of a sudden he comes through the door with no whites with him. I'm like, how the hell did he just?
Oh, after he got stabbed.
Yeah, he was holding back like 5 or 6 whites, and then the next thing I know, he's in the thing. How did he get away from 5 or 6 whites like on him, and now he's in the room with them?
You know what I gotta say? There was a very interesting like display of what he was doing. Like he had his arms out like this as he's being stabbed, and it was just like he was
almost like Jesus Christ sacrificing himself.
Yeah, it was. I was like, is this like a symbolism going on here?
Was he a perfect crucifix or no?
I don't think so. But
I thought he was more of an X kind of thing. But I understand.
Yeah, but it was just like he was in the hallway, and I'm like, is this some kind of symbolism? Like, why is he like he's got his arm? I know maybe his arms were stuck on the wall, and he was being stabbed.
But think about it. These whites are knocking down like solid wood doors. They would have snapped his arm.
But yeah, I don't know how he got out of that.
Yeah.
He got stabbed like 50 times.
All of a sudden, how's he laying on the ground?
Yeah.
And then who else after that?
Jorah sacrificed himself for Dany, which that's what his purpose was basically. The whole series.
His adrenaline must have been pumping to stay alive after all those.
I would be pumped even if I just had that sword.
Yeah.
A huge heartsbane. And you saw he hold it with one hand. I don't know how he did that, because that is a big sword.
Valerian steel.
And you can just see his hand is so small, and you have all this left over. It's like, it's like, how? You got 2 hands, which I understand. Jorah, Theon died. Sacrifice. I guess you can say sacrifice, or just he knew he was going to die at that moment, so he just said.
Right. I just wish he would have done.
Just go for it.
I wish he would have done something a little smarter, or checked those buckets for at least one more arrow, or pulled an arrow out of somebody.
I would have loved
something.
I would have loved to see him shoot another arrow at the Night King.
And see what the Night King would do with an arrow coming at his chest.
I thought Ghost died, but according to you, he was in the trailer.
Yeah, Ghost was in the trailer for episode 4. So
I think I might remember that he did
come back.
Running back.
Yeah,
after
with a horse.
Because she was Ghost was with the Dothraki and Jorah, but then Jorah pulled back. He knew what was going to happen, so he stopped and just started heading back.
Right.
Maybe Ghost was also one of those. I can't remember. I know some Dothraki came back. Grey Worm didn't die, and this is what I wanted to hit on before was like, I believe a lot of characters like should have died. Brienne, Jaime, Pod, Sam, like
they're standing up against. You can't fight standing up against a wall.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they should have been dead.
And they have what 100,000 whites, but they're holding off. 3 people are holding off. You know, boom, boom. It's like, what's going on? My thought about the whole thing.
The whole episode, or just the whole?
The whole battle
Okay.
is, I think, back to Superman versus Batman. Superman being the Night King and his army against Batman is everybody in Winterfell. If the Night King just would have held back, he created the storm, which I think was key. The dragons flying disorientated them, and they couldn't light a lot of stuff. But I think it was something so powerful, and they didn't even use the Nightwalkers. He could have split up those 12 guys or whatever, and you never even saw him fight, did you? They're just standing there on a mountain on a horse. So it's like,
well, again, if one of the Nightwalker dies, there are people that they turned also die as well.
Right.
So it could have been a
strategic thing, but
yeah, it could have been strategic because you saw Night King. He was on Dragon, didn't really go into battle right away. He was just kind of flown over there, and then you saw Jon, and was just clever enough to just be within distance to have Jon get away from Bran, because that was his purpose, was get the Bran. So he got Jon away, because Jon thinking, all I need to do is kill the Night King. That's all I need to do. Goes away, not thinking he's got this dragon. He has visibility right now. Just use it to kill the whites.
All right.
Fire kills him. So why not? But he decided to go off and chase him. And that was one thing I wanted to get on was I like the music. I like the music, how they kind of just worked everything up. Some points it was very sad. Some points it was very powerful. But at the same time, I wish there was more talking at certain points, especially with like the Night King and Bran. Night King's about to kill Bran. Bran just sitting there, as he always is, awkwardly, and just stares. He's just like, any last words? You're not going to say anything?
I like how he says, Theon, I have to leave. It's like, where you going?
Oh, yeah.
Most opportune time to freaking leave.
Well, what was he doing? Did he warg into someone, or was he just looking like, because he warged into the Ravens to see where the Night King is. Why couldn't he warg into...
Maybe he warged into Arya going like, where the hell is she? She should be here saving my ass.
I don't know. I feel like Bran, if he could warg, he should have warged into, I don't know, he should be powerful enough to warg into a white or someone.
I don't think he's ever tried that, and I don't think he can warg into a dragon.
Ghost. Why not a ghost?
Like a dragon.
Yeah.
But I guess dragons are more intelligent than humans, so that might be way too much power in a dragon's brain.
He warged into a direwolf before. Why can he warg into Ghost again? He's more powerful than he was when he was a little kid.
And it would make more sense if he warged into Ghost and then leaped over everybody, because that's a big freaking dog. Leaped over everybody's heads and then hit the Night King into Bran, like so Bran can actually, and then all of a sudden Bran takes out a Valyrian steel dagger and Bran kills him.
Again, Bran was pointless in this episode.
I think Bran's...
I just don't like him. I'm sorry. I don't like...
I think he's a paraplegic, because you never saw him move anything other than his neck. Huh? Yeah.
I have to go. Melisandre, she dead. Not because of the war. After she just took her necklace off and disintegrated, I guess.
Right.
But she said she would die, which I thought either Arya or Davos would have done.
He
was ready. He was
giving her the look. She's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll be dead before the night or before the morning comes or whatever she said. So I think she was really needed, but in the end, she really wasn't needed, because some of the things she did, she lit the what the hell are they? Dothraki?
Dothraki.
And lit those other things, and it didn't matter. They just the fire didn't really do much.
Lift your swords.
It barely slowed them down. So I mean, she was null point in the whole thing.
She lit the trenches too, and that didn't do anything. The whites were like, "Oh, we're smarter. We're just gonna sacrifice our bodies and lay on top of it."
Yeah, for a zombie, they're pretty smart not to.
Well, I think that's because of the Night King. I think the Night King saw that and was like, he controlled them and said, "Do this."
No. I mean, for them to stop at the fire.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I saw him lift his hand to tell them to lay down and sacrifice their own bodies for a bridge. But for them to stop and go, oh, my God. that's fire. I might die. Well, hello, you're dead already. So why are they stopping?
Well, it's like last season when the group was stuck on that like rock in the lake,
Right.
And
where I said
the whites stepped on
Sam.
it. Yeah, the whites stepped on, and some fell through,
Right.
and then all of a sudden they all stopped and were like, "Yeah, we're smart. We're not going to."
But I think they stopped because the Night King told them to stop.
Yeah.
Because he wanted that dragon. He wanted to get Daenerys to come and save him.
All I gotta say, there was another great shot there.
That's why they waited so long sitting there.
There was another good shot where the fire started in the trenches, and you could just see the shot of all the blue eyes.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is a nightmare. I'm sorry. Great episode, but I'm gonna get nightmares from this. My goodness. A lot of good callbacks, I would have to say too. A lot of good callbacks to like Theon, Bran saying he's a good guy, and this is home for him. Well, I think it was a good callback. Sansa and Tyrion had a good callback, I'd say, talking about their marriage. Sansa's saying you're the best one out of all the other guys I had. True.
I gotta say, I wouldn't mind Sansa dying. I don't think she'll make it, especially when she's saying that Daenerys of the
when Tyrion was saying we should get married. It's like I don't think that would be good because you serve a different queen.
Right. And that other lady freaking heard her, and she's like, "That's great. We'd be all dead by now if she didn't come."
Yeah.
So I think that might get back to her, and with her saying that she wants to hold Winterfell and have a king of just Winterfell and not be part of the Seven Kingdoms, it's like, hold it. She's opened her mouth twice already and said stupid shit, and I think that's going to put her in the grave.
Obviously, there will be more deaths.
That's my theory. Sansa will die. She will not see the end of this all 6 episodes.
We should really make a list. We should make a list and just put it right here and just be like, well, we got this one checked off. No, I'm going to erase this one and put it over here. Alive or dead?
It'd be stupid shit Oblivious said, and then it'd be a short little list, stupid things Smart said.
Can we do a Deadpool?
Yeah, you do it.
We could.
I don't know how to do a Deadpool.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Have you ever seen the movie?
We're doing a Deadpool.
You ever seen the movie?
Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they did in the beginning before he actually became Deadpool.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sansa.
Okay, back on track. No, just a lot of good callbacks. Was pretty cool.
And there's still another whole nother war. I think they split it up pretty good, where it wasn't like constant fighting. I think they split it up and told the story pretty well and came back to the fighting and they kept the interest of the viewers.
They divided between people. Like they did the battle the whole time, but it was like Sam, how he was doing, Jon, how he was doing, Dany. Like they went all over the place, which is nice because if you stay on one scene for a long time, then you just lose interest, which it didn't feel like that to me this episode. I think they did a pretty good job of it being the longest battle sequence in history and it being an hour and 20-minute long episode. But Dan and Dave did a good job. Hopefully episodes just keep getting better. That's what I want. I think that's the more important factor here is every episode of this gets better and better, each and every one, which I hope it does. Could be some, like you said a couple episodes ago, the plots started in episode 1 and 2 and they're building, and now they're building for that episode 4, 5, and 6. So hopefully they're good, get a lot of good payoffs, more surprises.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot more deaths. But I think the deaths will be more explained and more, like you say, more plot to those deaths. 3 episodes, and I think basically, what do you have? The Mountain and Cersei is basically, and the old dude, what's his, Qyburn? Everybody else there is just sort of extras, mainly, right? Euron? Yeah, so I mean, there's like 4 people that really need to die over there. You got 3 episodes to do it, and then kill off 20,000 golden companies, and then there's also, is Jaime going to die? Is Tyrion going to die? And I already told you Sansa's going to die, so we'll see what happens.
That's a recap of the episode.
And we got one dragon that's alive.
It's not quite, yeah. I'm pretty sure one dragon's alive. That's Drogon. Drogon's the only one alive.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
He landed
pretty sure
basically
Rhaegal
wrapped.
just got his head chopped off.
We'll see.
Pretty sure. So it wasn't quite a recap, but it was more of just touch base and see what we thought of the episode overall. Episode 4, it's coming this Sunday. Have any expectations or thinking what's going to happen?
Nope.
Can't expect a lot of action.
We saw Arya do the little, what I told you before with the Night Walkers, sitting there watching the Night King walk up to Bran, and all of a sudden his hair moved. I'm like, that was Arya. That was Arya in her little ninja, and that's all you heard and saw was just the hair of the White Walker just go in the wind a little bit.
And he looked too.
And it went, he's like, what the hell was that? And all of a sudden, Arya's over the top, coming at him. And that's you don't hear her. So she can get places that, you know, even a White Walker can't detect her. So that was pretty cool. And we haven't seen the many-faced God. So maybe in the next 3 episodes, Arya will demonstrate the many-faced God at least once or twice.
You think you think Jack and Hagar will make an appearance?
No. Okay. I think with 3 episodes, I think that's sort of out. I think he served his purpose as far as the story. And Arya doesn't need any more teaching, doesn't need to... And I don't think there's any animosity between him and Arya. So there's nothing to be settled there. There's no score to be settled. Yeah. So I think that's done. And she'll just use what she learned from him. And I think the many-faced God will, you know, appear one time, and maybe to kill the Mountain. Maybe Cersei will be killed by, you know, somebody else, but I think Arya will kill the Mountain too.
I'm just looking forward they don't rush everything.
Right.
Because with this huge battle, that has to be life-changing to a lot of characters, and for them to be like turn around and be like, okay, this war's over, we gotta find another one, without anyone being like, I'm scarred for life.
Well, we're gonna have an episode in between this war and the next war, right?
I would think so.
Episode 5 is the war.
Who knows? No one knows.
Who
knows what's going to happen?
I thought I heard something that episode 5 would be the next war. We'll see.
Or it could be a build-up. But you got to think Daenerys is trying to figure out what army she has left.
Yeah, it could be the war between the Golden Company, and then episode 6 might be once the Golden Company and the Iron Fleet are demoralized, then now they'll hunt Cersei. Mm-hmm. And the Mountain, and in episode 6, and everything will come to fruition in episode 6 and be done with it.
That's all I have for today. Do you have any other closing thoughts?
Nope. Just thanks for watching.
If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. We'd be happy to do another video and answer any of those questions you have, or leave them for the next episode, which will be every Tuesday.
And also put down who you think is going to be the next one killed. First person dead. Put it in the comments who you think is going to die next Sunday as soon as they start up.
Cool.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you.